in the studio from Fan Wars on the World of Heroes. Give it up for Jace Hall. Awesome. How's it going, Jace?
It's early in the morning, afternoon.
Oh my God, what time
You guys got me
zone
up.
are you on? All right, and joining us live via Google+, welcome Superfans host Adrianne Curry and the man, the myth, the legend, Stan Lee.
Right.
What a show!
I see him.
Yes, I see them right there. How's it going, everyone?
Here I am.
Very nice. So Stan, tell me, what inspired you to put together this YouTube channel and create the World of Heroes?
Well, the World of Heroes is very important. We put it together for mankind.
Woo!
Because as you know, the world needs heroes, and I could not let such a need go unfulfilled.
Woo!
Because
It's a global
that's the kind of
mission.
guy I am. I'm all heart, as everyone knows.
Definitely. Well, Stan, why is it important to have that direct connection with your fans? And I'm sure it changes every day as the tech and the tools change as well.
Well, it's important, as you know, to have a direct connection with the fans because they need that connection. They wake up every morning saying, what is Stan doing? What is he gonna tell us? What words of wisdom will he impart? And I'm not the kind of guy who's gonna let my fans be frustrated.
Thank you.
We appreciate
that. You told me what I was thinking, right? You read my mind. So, Jace, how do you program content for this community, for a platform like YouTube?
I think the first thing you need to do is sort of ask what the community has been looking for. Because, one of the big mistakes is to think, there's something that I want to say and everybody wants to hear it. That might not be the case. Mm-hmm. So the first thing to do is sort of spend time in that particular community with that particular fan base and really see what it is that people are desiring to see and what they want to participate in. Now, most of the stuff that I involve myself in, I'm already a fan of. So I'm a fan of Stan Lee, I'm a fan of Heroes, I'm a fan of that. So I knew sort of what that community wants. And but in general, the main point is to ask. Mm-hmm. And then they shall receive.
And interact. So Adrianne, you went out there to all the conventions, you dressed up yourself, talked to all the fans. Who knew you were such a geek?
I've been a geek my whole life. My father had nobody to take to nerdy movies in the 80s, so my mother hated him. I saw everything with my dad, be it Star Wars, Never-Ending Story, Labyrinth, Legend. I was introduced very early, so my daddy's actually very proud of me, and he's 6'7", so I'm trying to talk him into dressing as Darth Vader with me. But
Yes.
Oh, you got him. What's your favorite
he's
costume?
a big boy.
What's your favorite costume?
My favorite costume so far that I've done has definitely been my Dark Lily from the movie Legend by Ridley Scott. The character is being seduced by Satan or darkness, played by Tim Curry, and she is in this black gothic bridal gown. And I debuted that this year at Comic-Con.
Very
Yes,
nice.
I
You'll
saw
have
it.
to come
I
back.
saw it.
You'll have to come back to the studio in that one. So Stan, we actually have a fan question for you. Ed Reggie on Google Plus asks, as a child when Stan was growing up, what did he read? What was his form of escape when it came to reading?
Oh, golly, I read everything that I could lay my hands on. Mostly, I guess, high-concept sci-fi things like by Jules Verne. I loved Arthur Conan Doyle. Everybody who's any good, Mark Twain, Charles Dickens, Edgar Rice Burroughs. If it was well written, I wanted to read it. And if I couldn't find something well written, I read whatever I could anyway. Mostly I was so young I didn't know the difference.
How do you find the energy and inspiration to continue creating these great ideas?
Well, I'm motivated mainly by greed. And after that, it's just fun, coming up with ideas for stories and then writing them. It's not like work, it's like playing. Some people like to play golf or do whatever, tiddlywinks, whatever they do. I like to make up stories. And then if somebody actually reads the story and becomes a fan and says later on, gee, I enjoyed that, there is no better feeling that you could ever have.
Definitely. Now, for Jace and Adrianne, what's it like having Stan as a boss?
Well, I can say, you know, Stan's much nicer to Adrianne than he is to me.
Aww.
You know, like I try to be Stan's friend, but you know, he destroys my comic books, and he says I can't.
It's called teaching.
Yes, well, I am learning from the master, so it's all worth it because the pearls of wisdom that Stan drops onto me helps me as a content creator do much better on a going forward basis. But you know, it'd be nice every now and then if Stan would say hi to me if he sees me at a, you know, he just, you know, I don't exist. I'm not important, right, Stan?
Well, the only thing is you're so tall that in order to talk to you, I have to look way up there and I have to shout so that the sound will reach you. And it gets a little bit tiresome. That's why I mostly like to talk to you when you're sitting down.
See.
Adrianne,
No, but Jace is really a great guy, and that bit you've done with destroying the whole cover of the magazine is the funniest bit I have ever seen.
So Adrianne, tell us about working with this whole team, because you come from obviously many different backgrounds. What's it like working with Stan?
It's pretty amazing. The fact that all my friends salivate and shake with nerd rage, that the fact that I get to work for Stan the Man and they don't, is payment enough. But the fact that I've seen Stan and how he interacts with his fans at Comic-Cons, and he is one of the few people I really look up to with how kind and giving they are to their fans. So I'm actually happy to work for him, unlike some other people in my past.
Oh!
Stan, I have to ask you, with the explosion of the popularity of comic books in this entire community, how has it changed?
Well, you know, the funny thing is, you may notice I never interrupt when people are saying nice things about me. And Adrianne is the greatest person in the world to be with because she doesn't even have to talk. She just has to look as good as she looks. And it's like getting a bonus being with her. Now, she's one of my favorite people. And now that I've been talking about Adrianne so much, I forgot what the question was.
I know, she can be a distraction, I hear. So how has the community changed over time with the explosion in the mainstreaming of comic books and the culture?
It's actually gotten bigger and more enthusiastic than ever. And I think it's the movies that have done this. They used to be comic book fans. Now, with movies like The Avengers and Captain America, and I must say, even Batman, all these great movies about superheroes with the special effects and with the really good writing and good characterization, they have taken comic book superheroes and elevated them to a very big position in pop culture, and the fans are more enthusiastic than ever, and I love them.
That's great. You embrace it. So Will, I know you're in the chat room and you're online on Twitter. Any shout outs or anyone have any questions for our amazing guests?
Yeah, everyone's just very excited to have all of the panelists here, and they just want to know what's next, what's coming out next.
Jace?
Well, I'd be glad to answer that one.
Yeah, Stan.
Oh yeah, yes, we want to hear from you. You are the master here.
Well, we have this little company called POW Entertainment, POW, and of course you've all figured out that stands for Purveyors of Wonder. And we at POW are doing a few movies. We're doing one called The Annihilator, which features a Chinese superhero, and I think it's going to be sensational. It's a movie for the whole world, not just for China. We also have, it's called The Annihilator, in case I didn't mention that, and if I did mention it, it doesn't hurt to say The Annihilator.
Do it.
And we also have an Indian superhero that we're developing for a movie called Chakra. And I mean an Indian superhero in Asia, not an American Indian. That'll come later. So we're keeping busy. And then in Macau, in Asia, we're doing a live action show, which is so spectacular that the audience becomes part of the show. And you'll be hearing about that in another few months as we move along. So we're
wanna do
keeping
that.
busy, and we do it all for the fans.
Amazing.
We seek nothing for ourselves.
It's
We're
so
trying to give it back to the fans. And if we make $1 or $2 doing it, well, that's nice, but that's not the important.
I want to give you a hug over the screen here because your energy is so incredible, Stan. And I love it. I love it all. But Jace and Adrianne, actually, up until now, you served as judge and jury of the Fan War show. But are you prepared to have a fan war of your own?
Woo!
Think you can handle it?
I'm always ready.
All right, we have a topic for you today. It is, who makes better comic book characters, heroes or villains? Jace, you're arguing for heroes. Adrianne, you're doing villains. We're going to judge. Stan, Will of DC, and I are going to judge. Let's go. Jace.
I would say heroes, of course, and probably heroes make better comic book characters because they're always faced with the most difficult decisions, where it's easy for them to go into the bad decision.
Oh, you're 15 seconds.
See,
I wish they would have warned you there was 15 seconds.
Stan set you up on this. They didn't tell me 15 seconds.
It's easier to be a judge, isn't it?
Well, I'm just saying you're faced with a tough decision. It's easy to go with the easy route and just kill everybody, as opposed to be nice and go to the store, buy apples or something.
There you go. All right, villains. Adrianne, you have 15 seconds. Go.
Well, they are the mass majority. They are, without a doubt, the best dressed. Without them, there would be no superheroes. And they have the better names. I mean, Magneto, Charles Xavier, G.I. Joe, Cobra Commander. I mean, come on. There'd be nothing.
All right, Stan. I don't know if you heard some of this. Who do you think won, Jace or Adrianne?
Well, I like the names like Sergeant Fury, who's now Colonel Nick Fury in the Avengers. And I like names like Dr. Doom.
Yes,
and
my favorite.
To me, names are everything. You get the right name, like Spider-Man. It had to be a hit because his name is Spider-Man. Even if there were no story or artwork, you say, here's Spider-Man, people would love it, right?
I agree. So, all right. So, Will, who do you think won in this case?
Well, I have to agree with Stan. My favorite character of all time is Dr. Doom, so I'm going to have to go with villains.
Oh, villain, Jace.
And I'm
I'm
not
glad to hear
surprised.
that.
Well, you both were fabulous. You're wonderful. You brought your A game to the table, so we appreciate that. Thank you so much. Stan,
Hey, it was great to be
an honor
here.
to
Thank
see
you.
you here today. Thank you for joining us and sharing your enthusiasm that continues even now. We love it. We can't wait to see what's coming up next.
Yes, watch Fan Wars, everybody. It comes out every week, and you'll see Stan and Adrianne and myself on the show doing just what we just
And
did.
every day, there's programming every day on the YouTube channel, so check that out. And join us.
And in case we forgot, Excelsior!
Excelsior!